It's the end of day one here at the GLL Grand Slam PUBG Classic. We have one more match to go on Erangel. We've seen one repeat chicken dinner over the day, and then the rest spread across different teams and regions. I can't wait to see how it all plays out now at the end of the day, and we are going to get into that action very shortly. My name is Parla, and I'm still joined by Steve and Patrick. Guys, are you ready?
I'm hyped. You asked if we'd see some repeat wins. You said no. I said maybe Liquid pulls it off at best. But here's the deal. In that last game, 3 of the last 4 teams up were already previous winners. So that tells me the guys who've locked up wins are looking to lock up more, and it wouldn't surprise me if maybe we saw Liquid or SSG or one of our previous winners step up and actually be a double.
I mean, once again, you had Rumblers, you had FaZe Clan, they dropped the melee out of them. Liquid, they're really good on rotation towards the melee circles, but SSG though, they were dropping Sev once again. They had to take a boat, they had to do the long rotation.
Yeah, you're right.
But they still made it work.
They made the hustle work for them, and you gotta respect that. There's winning by gut, and then there's winning by numbers. And that's, I think the comparison here is 2 of the teams in the top 4 played their guts. SSG played the numbers, they played effectively, and the rotations were strong.
Hustle has always got to be respected. Patrick, random question, do you like hamburgers?
Yeah.
Who does?
Big fan? It's like kind of a big American thing, right?
Like big fan? No. Big fan of hamburgers, Paul.
Steve, do you like hamburgers?
Of course I love hamburgers.
All right,
I'm American.
Well, the other day I hung out with a couple of other Americans and made some.
Hey, oh, nice.
Hey guys, I'm here with McCoy and Shrimzy from Ghost. Great to meet you.
Great to meet you also.
Nice to meet you too.
And so, if I'm not mistaken, you're both from the US of A.
Yep.
Couldn't be more proud.
Thought we'd switch things up, sort of bring it home for you guys, and make some burgers.
Okay.
Yeah.
See some of the guys from Space Station, they've gone with the bacon burger. Bit of onion, some fries. Beef has got the upside down burger going on. That's a special Dutch burger. So where are you both from in the US?
I'm from Maryland originally.
Maryland. Houston, Texas. How did you guys meet?
Well, he blocked me, and then the manager reached out to me, and then he unblocked me.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, when I joined the team.
So,
also, he had me blocked.
so this seems more of a you thing as opposed.
Yeah, definitely me. Yeah. I was very toxic.
Out of the teams here, who are your main rivals?
Who's even playing?
Who won in Europe?
Who won what?
Oh, FaZe won.
Oh,
yeah, they're pretty good.
Yeah, they're right.
They won Phase 2. Do you guys think you're a lot better than the EU as a region, or?
Like, there's a reason why they're eating our food right now, because it's just better.
What's your favorite food, Shrimzy?
Shrimp Alfredo.
Oh, is that why you're Shrimzy? Is it?
Yeah, he's shrimpy.
You know, you'd be surprised how many people say that.
Okay.
Like, whenever people think of my name, they're like, oh, like shrimp. And I'm like, no, not like that.
We have a brand of crisps, or as you guys call them, chips, in the UK called McCoys, but it's spelled MCCOYS, no I.
My favorite food's crab.
Crab?
Yeah.
Oh, crab?
No, blue crab from Maryland, you know?
A man of expensive taste, I like it. This is ridiculous. Nice stuff, guys. I've also brought a preparation plate.
Yeah.
This is my ingredients plate.
This is my ingredients.
Would you like some ketchup as well?
Nah, it's Felix. I don't even know who that is. Who's Felix?
Oh, you want that Heinz?
Yeah,
Heinz.
Yeah.
Well, we've got Felix, sorry.
Who's Felix?
I'm not sure. Guys, do you mind if I take the ketchup? Thanks.
Tilgad Eisevega.
Tilgad Eisevega.
Made in Sweden? Yeah.
It's not as good as Heinz. I haven't even tasted it.
And you haven't even tasted it, man.
Yeah, but Heinz is from America. America's the land of the free. What is Sweden?
Are you very patriotic then?
I just like my freedom.
So guys, what have we got going? Yours looks quite basic.
I got my 2 buns, the bottom and the top.
Which one's the bottom, which one's the top?
This one's bottom, so that I can, because you fold right to left.
Bottom,
so
one
now
on
I put my bun, or my meat on my bun, get this all on there, and then I fold my bun over the top and
You forgot
push
your
it
Felix
down.
though.
And you push it, no, I don't. That's for the fries.
Oh, okay. Is that it?
That's it, yeah. I got my...
Okay, so it's a bacon cheeseburger.
Yeah, it's a bacon.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Nice job.
Thank you. Thank you guys.
I'm a hungry boy here, so I got 2 patties. Throw my lettuce on. My romaine lettuce. Hopefully it doesn't want to be that one where they recall it, you know?
Yeah, you guys had a big scare of that, like E. coli in your lettuce, right?
Then I got my bacon over here. Yeah. And then gotta put a little bit of this.
What is it?
I couldn't tell you.
It's going to be mayonnaise, guys. I mean, what else could it be?
It could be sour cream.
No, the sour cream is a different texture to mayonnaise.
They just give you a bowl of mayonnaise.
And what are you guys going to name your burgers?
The McCoy burger.
The McCoy burger, wow.
I'm going to name this GLL because we're going to dominate GLL.
Just like how you dominated the burger, or?
Okay, but what is going on over here?
Guys, what do you think I've made? I've made the GLL version for you guys of the famous American Big Mac.
Yeah,
But they switch it down, you know?
I'm going to, but that's the last step. And then,
I'm amazed.
He takes one bite of this and it all falls out.
yeah, but I'm gonna really try and compress it. That's like the last step. Can I have the ketchup back, please, Seb? Thanks.
You seem like a knife user. Like, you probably cut it.
Oh, yeah. I bet, right? No.
I like that you're layering the ketchup.
Yeah, you've got to have a nice bit of...
It's like spread out. He's not just like, it's like square.
You've got to have, what's it, the moistness of it.
Are you going to have a fried... Oh, okay.
So that is...
There it is.
That looks cool, man.
Wow.
All right, should we see if this compression is going to work now?
Yeah, no,
I might need like a team effort to get this thing edible, but we'll give it a go. Okay. Mate, you have to have perfectly downwards pressure, not like tilting to the side. You've got to make sure that...
Especially whenever it's that big. Oh, it's coming out. Oh! Alright, we taste each other's.
No. I want to eat mine. The Shrimsy special named GLL. Wow. Bone apple tea. Is it the real McCoy?
Yeah.
That's the test. Oof.
Oh, that was a good bite.
That's a good bite.
That was a good bite. All right, let's see this bite. Oh, that was a quality bite, actually.
This has been Burger Boys with McCoy and Shrimsy from Ghost. Thanks for joining us. Congratulations on getting here. I hope you...
Thanks for having us.
You perform in the event. Any final words from you guys?
Nothing to it but to do it.
Wow, what an experience I just had.
This actually tastes so good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Draskell in a nutshell in the back there.
You guys like the video? You guys like it?
Let me tell you one thing.
What?
They call themselves Americans, and they, like, their burgers didn't look good at all.
You know what? I can't
Hey,
believe
who had the best burger? Steve.
Absolutely.
you had a great burger.
Yeah.
I just can't believe he was
Hands down.
soapboxing on Felix Heinz ketchup. We all know Red Gold is the best of the ketchups. I see you, Indiana. You know what's up.
Okay, I'm not too versed on ketchup brands. Red Gold, is that like the pinnacle?
In the States, we like our sugar, so, you know, we like our ketchups. Red Gold is a Midwest brand. It's good.
Never heard of it.
It's
No,
delicious.
my favorite bit, though, was definitely when Shrimsy suggested, oh, you know, we'll taste test each other. I'm like, mate, I put way too much effort into this. And it actually tasted really good. But it was so nice to meet the guys on that day and everybody else over those 2 days at the lake. But now we push that friendliness to the side. Let's talk about our final match of the day in a bit more detail and focus on one of Ghost's rivals, Tempo Storm, Patrick.
Tempo Storm, I mean, one of the biggest name in PUBG right now. They won the preseason. They won Phase 1. They won the first Royale.
Yep.
They won Phase 2. Right now, where's that Tempo Storm?
We've started hanging banners in the NPL stadium for every win that somebody gets in terms of seasons or playoffs or whatever, and with the exception of one, it's just Tempo Storm across the board. So these guys have been absolutely phenomenal. They're off their game today. I don't know exactly what's going on. It smells like maybe some changes in the wind and the team needs to make some fixes, but what they're doing right now just is not cutting the mustard.
Indeed. Patrick, quick final thoughts, because then we have to head to our casters.
4 out of 5 people in that team is going to represent their country for the Nations Cup.
Oh, that's true.
1 is not. But right now, I don't feel it. I don't feel like that's the dream team.
Okay, well, thank you guys so much for your thoughts. I'm sure Andre, the owner of Tempo Storm, somebody I know, is rooting for the guys wherever he is. For now, let's head over to our casters for one final time. It's Lay and Michael.
Yeah, thank you very much. And so let's carry on with that. Let's talk about Tempo Storm because, I mean, in fairness, the last map, the plane didn't favor them. And yeah, they were offside. But we have seen your boy Dre, honestly, one of their best players, dying first in both first 2 games. It sucks. Like, it's tilt-worthy when that sort of thing happens.
Yeah, and one of the things about this team is we've occasionally seen that happen in MPL, but they just haven't played with this confidence with the remaining 3 members of the team. And they're a team that can recover well from bad situations, but what we saw in the last game with Sharky off and Gatka still, it doesn't make sense. I mean, we've already said it. This isn't the Tempo Storm from the last 6 months. They're one of the most infamous names right now, and obviously there's this big discussion of how the MPL teams favor in global events and major events and whatnot, and for Tempo Storm to be one of the ones to say from NA, this is the team we want to watch. That's not the team we want to watch right now.
I mean, in fairness, they kind of won it in the last day, right? It was just a big mega last day. They shouldn't have been. They should have been the 5th place team. We should have been talking about Spacestation Gaming. We should have been into this, but it wasn't the case. So they clearly have it in them to bring it back. This time around, though, the plane is back in the air, and we'll see whether it works out for them. The plane path certainly will, as the final round on Erangel gets underway. The plane's going to be moving over South George and then all the way down to Milton. So the majority of teams will be pretty happy with this one this time out. Apart from maybe Space Station Gaming, who are going to have a bit of a long drop for them. You can see they're going out early, up into North George, and then probably over to Severny, and they're in out. By the way, I want to get into that. Why does nobody go North George these days?
I was just about to say, this is a historic drop for this team.
Right, yeah.
Back initially when we joined Optic, North George was our loot spot, and that was obviously with the old circles, and there was always an opportunity to rotate into circles, but
because you used to clash. You used to clash with Avangard right up there.
It was Katowice
days.
Yeah.
And it was you two that were first and second.
It was Genji South George, and well, it was at KSV at the time. So,
yeah.
And then Avangard North George with us. So this is interesting to see. I like this. Obviously, it's a free spot on the map. I mean, the only teams really in competitive play we've seen do it is us and TSM. It was TSM and EU that were doing it, the original TSM roster, I mean. But at the start of the game again, we're seeing a vehicle. No.
Well, Tempo Storm at the moment, they've had a... Oh no, Ibby down. And Profi punches him to death. Oh, yay. Well, Cloud9 need all the points they can get. The team that needs all the points they can get is Tempo Storm. They've just got themselves the circle. Your boy Dre's died first in the last 2 games, but he won't be this time. Let's see what he's got to say.
And actually, why have we got Maluka at 30% HP?
Normally at the beginning of the game, we just like to look at where everyone's landing, see if anyone's like surprise landing near us, and normally we'll just discuss how the first circle goes and how we want to rotate to get into the circle. So mainly that's just normally what we go over.
Well, there you go. Just plain and simple.
Textbook Dre right there.
Textbook Dre. I mean, they've got the circle. Like so now the danger of this position, I always find it as the trickiest, is your loot position suddenly becomes the center point.
Yes.
You have to be so alert, the fact that the teams are going to be rotating early on you.
Yeah, and the thing is about Tempo's drop is obviously they have all this open space, but they do drop quite split. Obviously, Luke always drops into the observatory. Dre usually comes down to God Compound, and then we have Zampo and Sharky taking Liquid and Gakka main. The problem is, teams rotate so quickly now that if you maintain that split pattern for longer than 3 or 4 minutes, you run the risk of, Sharky getting crashed at Liquid or Zampo getting crashed at Gakka main, and that then causes problems because you have one player that just ends up getting caught out.
I mean, most other drops, I think everyone was kind of fine. We obviously saw Ibiza going down early for Team Liquid. The current points leaders, by the way, losing Ibiza early. That's a pretty big deal for Team Liquid.
And to C9. The ones who backed out of Pachinki and then getting that cheeky first kill.
And that was all over a vehicle. I mean, and I always wonder with that. Obviously, Pachinki is predominantly low on vehicles generally. Sometimes you land there, they're everywhere. Sometimes there's just nothing.
Yeah.
So obviously that's why they're trying to secure that UAZ. But yeah, that's pretty aggressive stuff from Profi to come further down south and challenge them for that. And that's something the Team Liquid, I think we're going to see probably tomorrow as we roll on into the maps. Maybe strike a little bit of revenge on Cloud9 for that kill.
Yeah, and obviously Cloud9 playing outside their comfort zone. They're dropping somewhere where they don't usually drop. So to see them obviously perform the way they have, and obviously at FaZe that we saw them get chucked about Pachinki, to be quite fair. So it's an interesting dynamic now to have Cloud9 not performing as well as we would expect, but you got to put it down to they're not as poised coming from the position.
Yeah, I mean, when you've played one loot path for an entire season, actually 2 seasons, in fact, you kind of get stuck in the way and then suddenly you're forced to move. It kind of catches you off guard. Just looking at Incognito and Knights, very much on top of each other. Reels here, you can see. Got eyes on Waikiki. Oh my word, they're in the open. Okay, well, There's 3 players there. He saw the 2 at least, so he knows that there's. I mean, he's in the open. He's not going to go for the shots here. It's just more a case of getting the information unless he sees a really easy confirmed kill. And he's just checking that area. Meanwhile, Bitloft, they have absolutely turned up today, honestly. They had a really good start to the day on Miramar. Kind of faded away a little bit on Erangel as we've moved on to that. But again, a team that's on the rotate early. What, 4 minutes 48? They've come out of the yellows and they're ahead of Na'Vi.
No, and I've been impressed by them. And a lot of the players have said, I want to see how these LATAM teams, fare. And, hats off to them. They've come out. They've been confidently taking, oh, actually, we got Juxi as spot.
Oh, he sees Reels.
Yeah, he's just waiting for a clean shot here, but Reels, no idea that Juxi's come this close.
Did he just hear the footsteps? As he ran towards him, he sees him.
Two-tap
headshot. Woof. 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 So they'd spotted him. Reels thought he was being sneaky, but no.
And the thing is there with Reels playing where he was, there's nobody from Knights that was anywhere near able to support him.
I mean, that's a case of obviously, I'm going to guess that he looted that compound, moved away from it. They came in and said, somebody's already looted it. Someone's around. Yeah. Have a look out. Well, the hillside, it's going to play a pivotal part possibly here. Athletico up there early. We've seen so many games in the last phase finishing up this way, both in MPL and in PEL. And you can see I expected Liquid to get there or thereabouts, and sure enough, they're down in the compound down below.
And actually, Athletico, another team, there's big questions over them, but Luke 12 posted some insane numbers today, and that's really
top fragging, right? Or at least it's certainly last 2 games. That's a good nade. It's going to bounce right on Nerve's head. He gets away with it somehow, runs away quickly because the second nades are coming through. This is Red trying to chase onto Cloud9, coming out of ruins early here, catching Cloud9 in the hop.
Yeah, and actually Cloud9 don't usually make this isn't a move that they typically make when they're uncontested at Patinky. You usually see them move elsewhere to the yellows.
If ever there was a get the hell out of here move, it's reversing in a UAC like that. That's just like, oh my god.
Trading back knocks here, and actually unfortunately Nerf's going to get, he's going to lose his vehicle and get stuck out in the middle of the field here. So, oof, there you go. Wow. Great shot from Psycho there from the top of the hill. You can just see him in front of Raspu here on the hill, but things falling apart in the early game again for Cloud9.
Valiant finding team across the side. It's Singularity coming over that bridge, of course. Probably not expected Space Station to be in South George at the moment after their North George drop. Waiki Kamukau and Incognito pulling up close to FaZe Clan. That's FaZe taking shots on them at the moment. You can see they catch running down the hillside. They're coming for a drive-by. Waiki Kamukau towards the tree, drives straight into it. It's going to pop out, and Mexi gets gunned down. He got himself warm, but it's going to be a loss for FaZe. But can they take advantage of this situation? It's Fuzzface off to the side. The nade's going straight on top of Waiki Kamukau. You can see him going down. Juxi off to the side. The last man standing suddenly for Incognito. This pull-up has not worked.
No, a bold move. If you're going to pull a seat swap, you don't want it to be on a player like Mexi or against a team like FaZe. And FaZe absolutely punishing them for that move. And this is one of the things we said, that confidence that these OCE teams play within their lobby. And it was actually Athletico that said that, but you're going to get punished by teams like that.
Na'Vi making their move. They've come out. It obviously opens up the opportunity for G2 and co. But Profi finds himself pinned in by Red Canids here. FaZe Clan finishing off Incognito there. You can see Juxi going down. So that's 4 kills for FaZe. But they are in the blue. They're going to have to get themselves mobile. And they've lost Mexi as well. The IGL down. So might cause problems for them in the long haul.
Yeah, no, we're still seeing this stalemate now with C9. And it's... I mean, what can they do from here? They need to be able to pull away from this, but we now have obviously all of... Oh, actually, that nearly actually coming off the left side of the UAZ there and bouncing onto Profi, but I don't see how they can get out of this lead. They're now pinned down at these yellows, and there's only 2 of them remaining. They're just getting wrapped.
And he got the angle on him. Profi through the smoke just before it popped out fully, and he was just pre-firing the corner.
He's going to pan him.
Oh, he is. Uh-oh, yeah, H-Win's off, and this is going to be a pan kill. Look for it in the kill feed, and he's looking for him. Where's the donk?
He doesn't want it.
Oh, it's a headshot as well, of course, of course. Oh, dear me, Cloud9, it is all going wrong for them, isn't it? As Red Canids, well, they're seeing the Knights as well. The Knights have come down from the hillside and continuing to take shots on them. Circle Shrink, by the way, has actually gone onto the Bay of Georgipol. South George finish. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This could happen.
I feel like South George is one of the ones we just don't see very often nowadays. With the circumstance, obviously. Actually, yeah, we've already got Athletico sending it into their OC brothers. Luke actually trading back with a knockdown to Vasily.
Turning quick on them. They're all diving for the warehouses and every little edge and inch of they can find. Nobody really wants to commit to South George, but if you don't get in there and it goes that way, you're kind of in trouble. At the moment, they're expecting to shrink away because we know Circle 4 will pull from water, but there is a gigantic bay in there at the moment of Georgipol, and that's going to cause problems. We expect it may well go towards the hillside. We've seen it finishing where Team Liquid are as well. Loss.
Landed some beautiful shots there onto the barn.
Oof.
Yeah, it does land onto Pome as well. Rumbler's actually in a fantastic position, moving out of South George and taking the hospital. They are 4-man stacked up there, and that is notoriously one of the spots that ends up getting crashed in the mid game. But looks like they're putting some good pressure on the teams around them and not allowing people to get too close.
I'm surprised everyone's kind of abandoned the hillside position at the moment, because I still think it's going to shrink down south towards this hillside. We'll see. Bitloft got themselves the antenna. You can see, actually, yeah, Red Canids may well go for it. Ghost are coming in to the unoccupied compound that Team Liquid just left a moment ago. FaZe Clan coming in late, along with G2. Happy to play the edge G2. You can see the Knights, they've diverted further north because they kind of ran into Red Canids at Ruins. So they're coming in across the hillside into the garage.
Yeah, and Na'Vi, one of the teams that, it's been disappointing since that first game, to be honest. Right now, moving towards a pretty good compound within the circle, and obviously you've already touched on it. We're gonna expect this to shift hard southeast at some point now.
If it goes north, everyone's it's gonna be hilarious.
I don't like calling it now because we've seen that crazy stuff happen before.
Yeah.
But, obviously, highly unlikely.
The numbers back up the fact that it would go south. Statistically, we expect it to go that way. Let's put it that way. But yeah, this is going to be interesting. I don't know where FaZe are going to end up. I've got to be honest. You can see them coming in. They're going to almost certainly bump into the backside of Ghost. I think they want to try and run straight for the hill. Yeah, I think Fuzz is going to try and run straight for the mountain here, and he's going to get caught out by Ghost. Shrimsy eyeing him up. Balak eyeing him up, trying to catch him out. Fuzz is just going to go for the hill, but it's going to get slower and slower. Shrimsy's ready and waiting, and Fuzz may well be going down here. Almost certainly will get caught out, and that's going to be FaZe down to 2.
Yeah, unfortunate for Fuzz there, but out doing that scouting role on the 2-seater. Getting picked off, obviously Ghost moving in pretty late, but occupying Liquid compound. They're actually 2-2 split up onto Everest, which I guess is going to be their next move, because they're not going to have any vision on...
Look at this play from Brexco.
Yeah, all the way on the west coast.
He's sent it along the beach, hasn't he, looking for a compound. So that's the safety net. If it goes into South George, he's now got those back houses that he can move into. Just going to double-check the clear. Singularity might have a bit of an option on them, as well as Spacestation, who, by the way, Spacestation have got a really nice 2-2 split as well.
They do, yeah, and fully expecting this one in the next 5 seconds to obviously shrink hard down to the south, but...
Where's it going? Ooh, it kind of centers up. Okay, so now we know where Rumblers are in the hospital is pretty much the central point of the next circle. It's going to pull down away from the bay as much as it can. FaZe Clan, oh no, they're out in the clouds, and well, the fields is going to be a problem for them, but Bitloft, now they have to realize, that do we go for the frag or do we look to get our position, because they are outside the circle as well, and Templo kind of stole the march on them and got ahead into the compound.
Yeah, and allowing Tempo to rotate in and regroup here isn't necessarily the worst thing for them, because they're gonna protect other teams rotating, but Bitloft need to decide what their next move is and start thinking about it now.
Does it go into the urban finish of South George? My word, Red Canids are sending it. They're coming in towards the Knights. Drayden's passing on by. Does he switch into passenger mode, or does he just try and clatter it into the warehouse? He does. He makes it. What just happened? Whoa, no!
He tried to crash into the barn, sorry, into the hangar, and the vehicle was too low. He's actually taken down his teammate with him as well.
Oh, disaster for Red Canids there. I've got to assume it's taken a bit of damage from Hell Yeah Brothers, because they were off to the side. So now you can see Hetra's going to try and get an angle on G2 as they pass on by. Udiri's going for, I don't know, it's questionable. They're going for the UAZ. Why would you go for the UAZ over the Dacia? I don't know. Quick out. Chris is there. Chris is pulled up by the rock, and he catches Hetra quickly down.
And Hetero actually with the trade there, so Valier should be a safe res. Kane probably going to get up to Brexco here on the west side of the South George. But, I mean, SSG there could have made a better attempt there at those vehicles rotating in the open if they were stacked up.
TL trying to steal away that kill by their way on Valiant there. Don't know whether they're going to get it. You can see they're popping the shots off. Ghost have gone to the hillside position. FaZe have moved into that compound on the edge. Bitloft still haven't moved.
Yeah.
They had the opportunity to go. Somehow they've allowed FaZe to wrap around them. I don't know how they've managed to let that get away. Where's Ghost going to find? They're going for the ditch. There's the smallest ditch here. I think that's what they're trying to find. That's going to be a problem, though. Look at this. They've got Athletico right next door.
Yeah, and the problem being for Athletico now, they've allowed Ghost to get into this dip, but Hell Yeah Brother occupying the double whites just over to the east of them. They're not actually going to be able to push out and pressure Ghost too much. Obviously, this is a perfect nade situation if you can run up and throw it, but this is actually a good move from Ghost because we're going to see this pull, depending on how far south or east it goes. Ghost could be in a golden spot in the next circle.
Bitloft, they've moved into the position. It's not a good spot.
They're
It's
pinned.
not a good spot. You can see Navi to the left of them, Tempo to the right, Team Liquid ahead. This is not good, and they're in nade range. Aduzi's going for it. He wants to bind himself. Just a little bit of space. The cover fire's coming in, and the nades are going out. This is not good. They're not going to be expecting them, so there won't be any returns. It hasn't quite got the legs on it, but he's going to keep on tossing them. It looks like they've gone for the dip too far.
That one should be good.
That second one looked like it's good. Yeah, it's going to force them away. Santi down. There goes the nade. Catches Sizzling down. That's the top fraggers. They continue in. Harold will go down as well. They try and return fire, but as they back away, they're pushing in towards Tempo Storm and Team Liquid. Oh, Navi will find it. That's a whole big lot of kills. Waldo as well. I think he blew the car up next to them. And that is a whole stack of kills. Bitloft, honestly, they had the chance to move earlier than that, but just didn't take it. They chose to go for the frags on FaZe.
I mean, they would have had perfect vision of Tempo Storm pulling away from this this compound at the bottom of Everest, and Tempo regrouping at the flat top. They weren't watching it, and they had a free play into the circle there. We knew this was shifting south as well.
Space Station going for the hill. We've seen it finish on that hill quite a few times, but that's like 2018 I'm talking there. That used to be the hill that it always used to go towards, right? We haven't seen it go there for a long time. Space Station, though, get themselves the positional advantage, and that gives them really a large slice of the western side of the circle.
Yeah, it's whether or not they can capitalize on this. It's not really a high traffic area in this zone particularly. Everybody's going to kind of, centralize around Hospital, South George, the horseshoe hangers. So I'm not sure they're going to be able to pick up any kills leading towards the end game, but I'd like to see Jason can head to a regroup with Baha and Val.
Nice creativity from Ghost using the Dacia to try and get that peek outside the ditch. I know, obviously, when you're in that ditch, everybody's been in that ditch at some point in their life, and they've realized it's like, great, I've got cover, but I really can't poke my head out because I'm just getting shot every time.
Yeah, and actually, ultimately, again, just to touch on it, Hell Yeah Brother still being in at the double whites over there is huge for Ghost because it means that Athletico can't push out and pressure this, and nobody on Hospital Hill can do the same as well.
Oh, Brexco knocked. He tried to push out. That's actually costly because Kane is a long way away. I'm not too sure if he's going to get there in time to try and get the revive off without even risking it. Athletico losing one. Are Red going to push on that? They are the other side of the hangars.
I mean, the difficulty is crossing between these hangars to get this red.
Yeah.
It's so risky with teams, dotted around their position.
Okay, everybody's kind of in the circle, so it's almost positional poising for now. Where do we see it going? The crate drops dead center.
The eyes on the plane.
Almost on Rumblers. The crate. Could we see Rumblers pick up a third?
And a back-to-back.
Oh, my word.
And this is the thing, previous game they dropped Sosnovka, they got the circle. And they come back to South George now, their usual spot, and they get the circle. So I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it.
Revive comes in for Luke, so getting him back on his feet. Top fragger so far within the tournament. Keynes has got to Brexco, so they managed to get into there. Space Station have made a little move. They've just nudged in a little bit closer together as everybody awaits the next circle. All pinned out on the edge. Does it go to the urban finish of South George? Does it pull away down south to the fields? Tempo Storm would be delighted with that. And there's an org that's going, that's right next to the Rumblers, but I'm not too sure they want to get outside the hospital to get it.
You step out there, I think that's in full view of Team Liquid as well. So.
Yeah, Singularity have a clean angle on that, don't they?
As tempting as it is.
Right, where are we going to go? Where do you think? We're shrinking away. There's no water involved anymore.
See, I like it when these circles go towards that Hospital Hill on the east and the horseshoe of the triple hangers. I like those endings there just because you get some really interesting team fights. Obviously, we've still got 44 players up as well. So,
well, where Tempo Storm is where it finished, obviously, with Face It Global Summit. Last time around, you reckon it's going to yoink? It does go. Tempo Storm are laughing. They've got themselves the compound. FaZe is going to even creep in there as well, but they've got to worry about the Knights coming off the hillside towards them. Na'Vi now actually look towards Senya. That's the position that Bitloft were in. So Senya just looting out there. Team Liquid also loving it, but everybody that's committed to South Georgia at the moment, it's going to be a tough old push for them.
Yeah, and we've got 5 of these teams, actually SSG included out on the west side, but 5 teams on the north side of the circle that need to come away. 8 are going to get shut down by Brexco inside South George. We have 2 members of G2 that need to push along, but we've got Athletico, Hell Yeah Brother, and Singularity on the north side of the circle that need to make a play onto that hill I was just talking about.
So Cloud9, 14th for them. Not a good performance. They didn't have too many kills. It's been a bad day. Back to reset, try and reset their mindset if they can. Ghosts, you know, their move for that dip has actually paid off. Athletico should still kind of be fine with the hangers they got, but only just. There is not a lot of grounds within this circle that is safe.
No, and one of the big ones I'm looking at is going to be a problem. James already catching sight of SSG. SSG don't have a lot of options here. I mean, outside of a YOLO, you know, crash onto a compound or a building, they're going to have to wrap somewhere.
And that's what's happening. Hell Yeah Brother, they're moving on to Athletico. They've tried to pile straight in there. Brexco getting caught out by Zoid, mate, so they were worried about G2 behind them, but Hell Yeah Brother, you can see them going down in the kill feed. There's only 1 remaining, I think. They've just kind of sent it onto the Australian brethren. Crush coming around the side. They still have 2 standing, but look at this. Extreme with an easy shot in the back, but gets caught out by Red Canids from the other building. The nade's coming back. Athletico can't peek this. Extreme is almost certainly a goner. He's going to fall down. Meanwhile, Space Station have pushed onto Team Liquid. They've gone into their compound, so it's happening all at the same time as well. GMT tries to get a peek around the side. Valiant trying to get a peek. Meanwhile, FaZe Clan, they're getting pressured by the Knights. That's over on the eastern side of the circle, so 3 fights. Singularity, they've pushed onto the Rumblers in a hospital. It's going off everywhere right now. Absolutely mental as Gene tries to keep on bay. 1 hit point. He survives, and Space Station, I think they've just gone down. I'm not too sure if they've got anyone even standing in here. They make about 1 man standing. The Knights will fall. It's 12th place for them. Na'Vi have pulled up on Team Liquid as well. They've come around. They've smelled blood in the water on the Europeans and trying to collect as much as they can. It is mental here in this circle.
Wow, and I just called it as well, this YOLO crash coming in. Na'Vi, great awareness from them to pick up on the fact that Team Liquid are getting crashed in this compound, sending it and poking them along. Actually, how did that not go through the door? I'm not sure, but Headsaw still lurking in the bottom of this flat top building. Team Liquid pushing down now, wiping him out. Headsaw goes down. That sends out Space Station in 9th.
Wow. My word. Na'Vi, they've managed to get a build in, tossing the nades out, not working out. Gemty just close. Team Liquid still managed to keep 3 alive, but now they've lost 1. Gemty down, doesn't get confirmed, but he's going to almost certainly bleed out in a second as the doozy just underhands the nade toward him. Senya was lost in the field. Zampa picking up on it. By the way, Tempo gaining everything from this because they're just sitting watching them all fight in the fields. Now Rumblers, you can see they're getting pressured in the crates there by Singularity at the hospital. Lost getting a little peek around the side. They're getting shot by Athletico in the back as well, who've moved onto the hillside, and they're now engaging with Ghost in the dip. They have a clean angle on them. That's not good for Ghost.
No, and Singularity here forced to come up and make a play onto the hospital. Rumblers actually prioritizing the west side. They weren't looking at any of these third-party opportunities. They just want to hold down what they've got and make it to the late game, and I think that's the right decision for them. Team Liquid can't even catch a breath right now. Still sharing this compound with Na'Vi. I'm not sure how they come out on top in a 4v2 situation.
FaZe trying to move in. It's really open fields onto Tempo. Looks like a loss for them, but at the moment, Ghost they're trying to make that move as Pome finds himself the M24 straight to the head. Pomey gets himself an easy shot as he goes for the peak. Sharky's got Uber dead to rights behind those trees.
Yeah.
Not really a lot they can do. Smokes are only going to pie, so much, and instantly the second he ditches behind the trees, a lot of shots come in. How many meds he got? That blue's on his back.
Yeah, and Ace has made it to the shack, but he's in pretty much exactly the same position that Uber's in. He has to run out in the open. He's outside the circle right now. This is just a matter of time.
You can see Singularity still up close. The problem with Hospital is it's massive, and there's a million windows.
Yeah.
And yet it still doesn't give you good vision of the area around you.
No, it doesn't. And as soon as you peek one of those windows, you can't re-peek it again for another 30 seconds. You need to move elsewhere, work a different angle.
Uber's bought time. Uber's bought time for 8C. 8C is almost on top of it. If he wins out in this challenge on Zampa, just on the right-hand side, it is going to buy a chance for FaZe to get him. You can see the barrel from Zampa spraying down. Doesn't do the damage on ITC, but Uber now bleeding out. He's trying to heal up what he can. Maluke is going to go for the nade, and that's going to go straight past ITC, but he's going to do enough. Half the damage. Tossing it back to Maluke. He's gone. That's FaZe falling. Uber's just bleeding out in the blue as well, so it's almost certainly going to be an 8th place finish for FaZe Clan.
Yeah, the problem being, Tempo clearing up this now, they need to be prioritizing their move to the north, because Na'Vi and Team Liquid effectively holding down this compound together have got an open firing squad on Tempo Storm if they need to move out to the west.
Now, do Rumblers go aggressive? They've just got the knock. Oh, Team Liquid getting pushed. Na'Vi are going in towards it. James finds Booker Molodoy. That's happening. We'll keep our eye on what's going on as Bestlosh will finish him off. That leaves Team Liquid down to 1. Rumblers were going aggressive as well. It's all happening at the same time. Perme goes down. Looks like the Rumblers are going to finish off Singularity as they come through. Team Liquid down to 1. Just Samty alive for them as Bestlosh tries to find him.
Yeah, I mean, this is falling apart for Na'Vi. I did say they were going to struggle in this 4v2 situation, Team Liquid, but it looks like they've got the 1 down. I think Senya went down to Tempo Storm earlier on, but Pokemon should get rest here. Samty needs to try and find a nade if he wants to shut down this team fight before the circle starts closing in.
Singularity fall. Rumblers will finish them off.
Oh, he's holding the angle on the stairs window. I think he just dropped off the backside.
He's dropped. I think Bestlosh heard it. He heard it, but is it enough? Oh, he tried to pre-fire, heard Bestlosh come in, but he will take him down. So Na'Vi are going to get 3 back on their feet. Athletico have now moved in on the Rumblers in the hospital. Tempo is sending it, but Ghost are already on the hill. The Dacia's coming towards them, but they're going straight into the nade range of Ghost Gaming down the hill. They're just rocketing them, making themselves a red zone. Maluke tries to get himself the peak. McCoy will see him, and he's got a nade in hand. Tries to go for the spray down. Balak goes down. Maluke on the hillside. Look at your boy Dre. He's got the flank around the side. Meanwhile, Rumblers here compression in the hospital by Athletico. Ghost Gaming massacre in Tempo Storm on that hillside. It looked like it was Tempo's to take for a while there, but this has all gone wrong.
Yeah, Maluk goes down as well, literally leaving Zampa on his own now. Ghost defending this hill excellently there, and this was one of the hills I was talking about. Come late game, everybody's got open vision on this, and Ghost capitalizing on, you know, taking out the teams from the hangars. Obviously, Athletico going to hospital, but Ghost now in a really strong position to take this game, actually.
Getting that hillside has worked out well. It surprises me. Atletico kind of had that hill, and they let it go, and they've moved away. They could have evenly pushed Ghost in the dip there, but it didn't work out. And now we have this 3v4 in the hospital. It's so rare that you see a battle like this in a pro game in the hospital.
I mean, the fact that Athletico kept 3 up with their rotation and getting all the way to hospital, Rumblers obviously prioritizing Singularity on the west side has actually come back to bite them in the arse.
This is... I feel like we're watching, you know, Dr. Disrespect stream, and they've all just dropped into pro school or something like that. This is the standard type of stuff going on at the moment. But Na'Vi are looking to try and benefit from this. They're taking shots up on the hillside of Ghost there. They've just clipped Balog. They're pushing down onto Zampa, so it's been pretty good considering Ghost were in that dip. Yeah, you know, they've played out of it really well.
Yeah, and that's one of the positions you don't want to get stuck in. And the fact they moved when they did, it's now paying dividends with him in this final
Zampa strike. They know that he's around here somewhere. They find him. Yeah, they can deal the damage. Trimsy got down, though. Did Na'Vi try and benefit from that? Ghost have the circle. It's gone right on top of their heads. This is perfect for them, for a big chance for the North Americans to step up. They've had a torrid day so far, but an 8-kill game so far could be massive. Rumblers, they've got 3 in a room. No, what is going on? Athletico just rushed straight in. They're all stuck in the room, and Luke is having a time of his life, but Lost will turn it back around, and Athletico go down in 4th place. But my God, they just got slaughtered in the hospital. A lot of bodies lying in there.
Yeah, I mean, great trades from Lost at the end there, but I feel like Rumblers should have cleaned that up a lot quicker, because now they're in a position where they're on the back foot now. Only the edge of the hospital fence is inside. Na'Vi have already pushed up to the edge of this new circle now. Ghost have perfect vision over both teams.
Big Smoke's going down to try and cover. I think that's Oduzi and Bestlosh's push there. They need to try and find something, but look, there's nothing. There's nothing for them. It's just an open field and a little ditch. Pokemoldoy has himself a tree down low. Really, it's Ghost. It's a rock, actually, sorry. 2 rocks down here. That's what he's got to play with. Rumblers, they've got themselves back up on their feet, but immediately McCoy sees the angle through the window and catches him in the blue. That's going to leave Loss and Waldo, the last 2 standing for the Rumblers.
Yeah, unfortunately, this has fallen apart just due to timing for Rumblers there. I think Waldo's going to get knocked to the blue, so somebody should be able to pick up that kill point. I think maybe Shrimsy or McCoy, but it doesn't look like they're looking over that way. Maybe he's hidden in the smoke, I'm not sure.
Now Ghost, pressure on them. They're up against Na'Vi, who haven't had the best. They had a cracking start But although smokes is really all that Na'Vi have to play with, whereas you can see Ghost, they have an open angle up. That angle from Pokemon, they have to deal with him. They have to deal with him at the moment because they can't open peek because he's taking shots every time they do.
Yeah, and the thing is now for Lost, he's stuck inside that fence. There's no way he's going to be able to vault over that without going down. So I want to see him deny the points there. And
there we go.
With the
there we go. That's what they needed, but it's gone straight down next to Pokemon, so we'll get the revive in. Lost is trying to make the move. No! That's not good for Ghost. It immediately gets taken down. A Doozy gets lost, tries to take dividends. Look at Doozy making the push. They're going to caught him out in the field. They do. Balak strikes, gets the Russian down, and now it's... Is it going to be the revive? Will they get the revive on McCoy in time? I'm not too sure they can because we're into phase 9 and they're all squeezing in.
Yeah, and this now for Ghost is obviously
Na'Vi are moving.
Setup.
Na'Vi are in the open.
Ooh.
They get spotted. Balak pops up again, strikes down Bestalosh, and Balak is delivering at last in the final game of the day. Pokemon, the last man standing for Na'Vi. Drassel will find Bestalosh, and that just leaves Pokemon running through the smoke against 4 members of Ghost Gaming. This is going to be another North American win. NPL take 4 games back to back. This time it's Ghost. This time it's massive, and they needed that in the last game of the day.
Absolutely, yeah. Coming in with a rough start to day 1. Look at this. We've got Balak's entire family, so fantastic to see them on their feet cheering after that Ghost win. Yeah, they needed to finish strong today, and that's the perfect game for them to end up with.
Absolutely what they needed there, but wow, what a finish. I mean, it's so rare that we've seen the circle go that way. We expected it to kind of pull away from Georgia Pole, but yeah, man, we had so many fights at the same time. We had Oceania clashing in the warehouse. Why did they crash the warehouse? I don't know why they crashed the warehouse, but that's what the Hell Yeah brothers did on Athletico. Then we had Team Liquid being pressured by Space Station and Na'Vi back to back, and Na'Vi coming out on top of that one. It's a second place for Na'Vi. They're not going to be too disheartened by that, despite the look on Pokemon's face there. They're going to be happy with the points after all.
I mean, they have to, yeah. Well, obviously, starting strong in game 1 and going in, 4 games, then pretty much unanswered, really. To come out now and finish second with a decent kill count, I think they finished with 7 kills by the end of it. So, yeah, you've got to cut your losses at that point and say, look, at least we finished with a strong last game, and we're going to go into tomorrow with that same mentality.
And it's going to feel good because if you think of the Space Station game, where they came out on top, Ghost could have taken it. They only came out with 7 points in that game, despite the fact it was second place. They just had the single kill, which actually, we all talk about, like, what's the lowest you can get to win a game. So it wasn't great while they had the second place finish. They're probably going to feel a little aggrieved that they could have come out on top against Space Station. So maybe feeling a little better after that one. A decent kill. The move they took, they went into dip. That dip is kind of like a last chance saloon when you go in that dip.
It's so risky to go there as early as they did, but banking on that circle shift, they knew that Athletico was defending them from the hangars, and then actually they had Hell Yeah Brother that was defending them from the double whites, which meant neither team could pressure them. And obviously at that point of the game, nobody can get onto the hospital hill to apply pressure to them either. So I actually really like that. It's a bold move, and it paid off massively for them.
Well, it is the real McCoy that is standing by with Rachel for Ghost Gaming.
Thank you guys, and true story. Wonderful to see another one of my NPL brothers up here on the stage. You guys had a rough day so far. You pulled out the victory in the end. What changed?
We just stayed calm and collected that game, like the little bit of land jitters. We haven't played an international land in a while. I think this is the first one for Shrimsy, and Drowsel hasn't played a while. So we're just getting all the stuff out of the way, and hopefully tomorrow we carry on with this momentum.
So when you're talking about stuff getting in the way of your play here, I mean, you guys traveled really far. There's sleep, there's food, there's all kinds of issues. We know you guys got your cheeseburgers. Happy to see that. But what else have you had to overcome to play your best here today?
We didn't get the scrim against EU that much, really, other than the 2 games today. So we sort of learning as we go, and we're like, okay, we can't rotate this way anymore because it's not MPL, and we just got to, like, pretty much make plays on the fly and, like, adjust how we need to.
And what was your planning like before you got here to this tournament, and what are you going to do tonight to address these issues?
The first day, definitely just take it slow, try to get as much as we can and gain info, and then second day, try to carry on with that and be able to move faster, rotate faster, and know what we can do.
And have you noticed any trends among these teams that you think you can capitalize on?
Definitely a couple.
Excellent to hear it. Well, I want you guys to get your rest. I want NA to do well, no favoritism. But thank you so much for your insights, McCoy. Let's send it back to the desk, take another look at that game.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, to Rachel and McCoy. Steve, You must be very happy. That's 4 of our chicken dinners today going to North America.
That's what I'm saying. At the start of 3, you know, we saw a little bit of banter. Pansy and Sims were like, where you at, NA? And then we came out and we just win the next 4 games. So kudos to the guys. They put up great matches. I don't know what Microfry ate for lunch, but his gut getting him in the right spot again for a second game in a row, wildly impressive.
I mean, he knows exactly where his circle is going to be.
Apparently.
He's the circle guru. You should just follow him no matter what team you are.
Yeah, I mean, literally back-to-back games in totally different spots, polar opposites of the map, and they literally dropped where the final circles were. So they played that well. They pushed out. They took Singularity. I think that was an excellent play by them, but it came down to Ghost making a move that I was questioning early, right? They were up on Everest. They moved down to play the dip by warehouses, and I was worried Tempo would flank them, that maybe Knights would come up over Everest and take them out. It worked out. So smart play, but a risk-reward scenario for sure.
Risk-reward for sure, and they played out well. They took over the ridge towards the end there, and they made sure that they had the map control. They had control over the whole area, more or less. In the end, Na'Vi didn't stand any chance against Ghost there.
Should we touch upon Na'Vi as well, considering that that's a better end to the day than what we've seen over the last few last few matches? They got off to a roaring start, getting the first chicken dinner, but then have been missing on the server since then, now have capped it off with a decent placement at the end.
Yeah, I mean, it's a kind of a bookend for them. They got a good placement and 7 kills, so that'll be a nice little point total for them. And the midday, you know, I'm not going to lie, it was garbage. There was it was a hot mess for a while, but they went out, they figured something out, they corrected it, and they played their game. And once they get to be on foot, once they find that rotation, we see what we saw in that fight against Liquid. They are very dynamic. When they feel comfortable, they're working as a unit, and they know no one's behind them.
And hopefully they can bring that in here tomorrow as well. Coming in tomorrow, I mean, you're going to have a little bit of a break. You can look at some VODs, study the other teams. And I think most important is studying the teams around you where you're dropping, because you want to know what they're going to be doing. And tomorrow we're starting on Erangel.
Yeah. So, I mean, the teams that are finishing strong today have a confidence boost coming right back to the same map to kick it off tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, of course, that's a dynamic that we have to appreciate, the fact that today it was Miramar, then Erangel. Tomorrow we're starting on Erangel. Do you expect to see any differences in play?
I could see Tempo Storm maybe messing a little bit with Bitloft, a couple of people sort of flexing their drops now that they're able to go home and see what everyone's preferences were. As far as stylistic changes to play, I don't think so. We saw huge variances in circles today, so everyone's just going to have to stick to their game plan.
I feel like we're going to see a little bit of changes coming in from teams that is towards the bottom of the leaderboard right now. A team like Cloud9, for example, didn't do good at all today, and they need to step it up for tomorrow. They have a lot to work on, because right now I feel like they're not comfortable at all. Not on Miramar, not on Erangel, because they got pushed out from Picado and from Pochinki.
Thanks, guys. Now Toby is ready for our final GLL breakdown of the day.
Thank you, Paula. Final breakdown of the day is going to be a good one, added to interesting things happening right off the bat here too. You see the game coming off, and arguably, with this set of teams, we are a little more on the eastern side than on the western side with the usual drop spots they go for, and even more so down in the south. You have G2, they like to loot farm. You got Bitloft, they sit up here. I mean, I'm very, very surprised by the fact that we can have 5 teams on the southern side of Erangel and neither of them fight early game. That is more impressive than anything I've seen before. Got to keep in mind as well, Ghost, they're number 4 in the spot, and they know that once the circle pops, they have a whole lot of teams to beat in order to get all the way up towards that western side. But how do you do that with so many teams around you? Do you just send it easy or send it early? Because that could be clustered, right? Nope, you wait, you take your time, and you play it smart off of it too. Look at this as we continue moving on forward on your screens. Teams, they do make their way in, but it's way slower than what we normally see on the western side. Now, though, once the circle pops, all of a sudden, this is, keep in mind, this is circle number 2. Arguably, normally, you'd have plenty of room to move around, even in the second circle. But here, because of the amount of water, you have a big city you don't want to go to, pretty much excluding all of the North George side of things, and you have Everest in play too. We're containing practically all the teams in this circle to an area of something looking more like a 4th circle than what we would normally see with the second circle this early on in the game. So already now, a lot of these teams, they've committed to the compounds they're going to sit around in for a while, and that's exactly what happens up next. If we keep moving forward a little bit, all these teams, they'll make their way down towards the compound, and as we go up to the point here, Once we see this circle go south, which we know it will, it's circle number 4, it's going to exclude water, all this stuff. The guys that have the compounds now, all they can do is sit tight, wait. They've been sitting here for a while already, not being able to move. They know where their opponents are around them. You can scout with the expectation of either getting your helmet popped off or at least taking some damage to your vest as well. So they're going to be sitting tight in the rooms that they have to play around. And if we take a quick look at the replay, we can see just exactly how they're positioned. As you can see here, nobody's in a position from which they can really change and go play from anywhere else. You got Hell Yeah Brothers up on the northern side. They can't go anywhere. Athletico, they can look down towards Ghost, get bullets thrown their way. The only spot that's really technically available is the hilltop on the side of the hospital, and even from there, well, you can't either get there because you're going to get shot at by the time you get up there, and well, I mean, if you want to get down again, it's not really going to be easy either. So tricky position to play from, and of course we saw what happened with the circle that shifted after this one. I'll show it to you just here real quick. So once we got this shift down, we exclude all of Georgiapol, we exclude the majority of hospital and everything on the north. It becomes a cluster, it becomes chaotic. The viewers love it, embracing the chaos. The casters love it, they get to scream a little bit more, and I know you guys love it too. That's going to be it for the breakdown for me for now.
Thank you so much, Toby, for your analysis over the course of day one. Yeah, Georgiapol can be tricky if you don't get into your positions at the right time. Now, let's take a look at the positions at the end of day one, but starting with our scoreboard from our final match of the day. Ghost Gaming with 12 kills and 22 points overall. Na'Vi bouncing back into second with 13 points. And then the Rumblers in third. Big credit to them and the representation from North America, but we cannot forget about Athletico, who have been a consistent force over the course of the day.
Atletico has been playing really well today, and it comes down to their aggressiveness that they are using against all the teams here. They're trying to be unpredictable and just go aggressive on all the teams they can do.
Atletico in 4th place, name a better duo, right? These guys consistently seem to be coming in that position, but they're racking up big kill points. You know, there was a power ranking that came out yesterday. Everybody was sort of like, how is Atletico 4th place on this thing? But apparently, that's sort of Atletico's niche, is to sit in this 4th place spot, which I think sets them up for a final day performance, big numbers, and a potential surge to 1st, right?
Well, coming in for tomorrow, I believe that some of the more experienced teams should be playing a little bit better. They have the experience, they know how to reset their mindset, they know how to go home, watch the VODs, figure out what are the other teams doing, how do we counter that?
Okay, now we have the total leaderboard on screen. The standings after day one. It's Liquid who have held on to the 1st place position. Rumblers in second, Na'Vi in third. What is this? So we've got Liquid, then Na'Vi, FaZe, G2. So that's 4 from EU, and then we've got 3 from NA, and 1 from Oceania.
Over on the left side. I mean, we got 4 NA in the top 10.
In the top 8, I mean.
Big loss for me is Bitloft, who was sitting in that 2nd and 3rd place position going into the second half of the day, slides all the way to 9. Really a meteoric fall for them in that context. FaZe holding strong. This is a team that we haven't talked a lot about because they haven't been getting high placements, but they're consistently getting kills. They're at 42 points. It seems like FaZe is setting us up for yet another FaZe Sunday where they're sort of trailing and have to come in crazy and put up big numbers. This is very much falling out the way that we expect it to. Rumblers and Liquid on a strong start. FaZe waiting to catch up from behind.
Let's not forget this is just day one. However, I do feel like if you're in the bottom 4 right now, you really need to come into day 2. Not necessarily aggressively, but looking to score some big points.
C9 has nothing to lose tomorrow. They're at a point where they have 15 points total compared to leaders in 49.
It's time to go for
big.
And Picado.
Absolutely. Let's take a look at the damage leaders right now, Paula. Liquid, the Twins, man.
The Twins, baby.
Coming in 2 and 3, 4,000 combined. These guys, they struggled, like you said, when they first started playing together. We saw that at GLL 3, sort of finding their pace. They definitely have found it. They are a 1-2 punch, and you cannot deny the value of the Twins.
It almost looks like we have an image of the same person, just with different hair photoshopped on.
I love the Harry Potter picture.
Yeah, the synergy between those twins is amazing.
Jempty got the EU hair, Sampty got the NA hair. He used to play in NA.
Yeah. I mean, you guys make fun of the NA hair. Like, we just stole it from Liquid. They were all rocking that do. We were like, we want it too.
Yeah.
Winner's hair.
Big shout out to Uber from FaZe for being at the top of that damage dealing board. And FaZe, I think they should be pretty happy with where they finished up at the end of today.
I mean, yeah, they still have a little bit to figure out, but overall they aren't playing too bad. They're getting a lot of kills. It comes down to the aggressiveness again. from an experienced team like FaZe Clan, they know exactly how they want to play it.
FaZe has been here time and time and time and time again. They know, they have a pedigree, they have a strong crew. All of them have been here since the beginning. So just because you see them in 6, because they didn't get a chicken dinner today, that's only going to fire them up. FaZe tends to come back stronger day after day.
No, they come back on this Sunday.
Well, obviously.
So you think they're going to save it all until day 3?
They hate that we say that, but it is true.
It is true.
They
can't deny it.
They give us a hard time. They're like, oh, why do you have to call it FaZe Sunday? And it's because they tend to sort of sit in this middle section with enough points that if they have a really great day, they take first, and they come out and just play out of their minds. When they have everything to, or I guess nothing left to lose, is when they seem to really play their best.
I mean, this is the regular thing we see as well. Liquid in the top of the day 1. They're doing really good. FaZe, they're around the middle pack there. They're going to come back later. Liquid on there, they will drop down a little bit.
We used to say Liquid day 1, FaZe Sunday, and Knights someday.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that's not happening yet.
All right, guys, thank you so much for the help over the course of today. I'm not sure if either of you are sticking around with me now, which I'm going to...
I think Frost is.
I am.
Frost, okay. Well, everybody
and
at home, that's the end of our matches for today. Our first 6 matches are done. We'll be playing the rest out over the next 2 days. But right now, don't go anywhere. We are going to have an after show down at my Parlour's Pub, I'm going to say.
I like it.
It's going to be relaxed. It's going to be chill. We are going to have...
Porosaurus, the coach for Rumble.
Yeah, we're going to have a coach come down, and Frost's going to be there, and whoever else we can drag in. That is Parlour's Final Circle, and we'll see you there after the break.